Previously on the Rod Pedersen Show.
But to the viewer from Toronto who says, what's the most intense game you've ever been involved in? Viewers obviously watching on the Game Plus TV network.
Yeah.
Listen, man, I don't think you, or ma'am, I've needed police escorts out of facilities. I've needed police escorts out of cities. So you're going to need to define intense. I assume you mean on the playing field. I've been threatened in many facilities across this country, all because of my own actions. Was there a game more intense for you than the 2007 Grey Cup?
I think the Grey Cups in general, like I say 09 and 10 were big time Grey Cups too for me as far as intensity. But if you get away from the Grey Cups, I would say that rematch against Montreal,
Canada Day comeback.
Yeah, that 50, what was it, 51, 54, or 50, whatever. With 50-something to 50, that was just back and forth. We
Triple
were down
overtime, wasn't it?
Yeah, we were down 3. We had another 13-man penalty that almost ruined the game for Saskatchewan again. Had great catches left and right. Everybody was, it was just, if you weren't a CFL fan and you watched that game, you would have been a CFL fan after that. That was the best, probably the best CFL game I've ever seen, been a part of. And it was intense. After we closed the gap before half, that second half was the most intense thing ever.
Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show.
These are the odds. You can lay it down right now. This is awesome. Winnipeg Blue Bombers and then the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Dun, dun, dun. Yes. Followed by the Argos. Argue at will, viewers.
We talk about value in betting, and it's not as much about who you actually think is going to win. It's about where you can get the best value.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Oh, yeah, betting tips with the Moose. Coming soon to a television near you. Welcome to the RP Show, everybody. We are live from the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, Calgary's entertainment destination. Glad to have you aboard. I want to say hey to the Grey Eagle staff. They're all watching on Game Plus TV, carried all through Alberta and BC on TELUS Optic Cable. It's what we affectionately call a Flame Tech Football Friday. And we got some pretty big-name football guests coming on today. Ryan Thelwell, Calgary Stampeders great, is going to be joining us right down here at Grey Eagle in hour 2. Eddie Steele, as we bring in the Moose, Darren Moose DuPont here. Eddie Steele has taken umbrage with me even questioning that Michael Riley should go into the Canadian Football Hall of Fame. And he called producer Clark and he says, get me on the air. I want to talk to Rod about this. Okay. So I think you're going to want to tune in for that. I'm not scared of Eddie Steele. Give me a break. And in hour 1, we're going to preview. We're going to preview the Saskatchewan Rush Panther City Lacrosse Club game Saturday night at SaskTel Center in Saskatchewan. I got to say this: there are no NLL games tonight, but there's a plethora on Saturday.
Yeah.
And I see the Calgary Roughnecks are going on the road, and this is how my life has changed a little bit, and yours too. We're on all the mailing lists of all the teams in the rectangle. But the other day I was at the Shark Club, Deerfoot Meadows here in Calgary, and they said, the Roughnecks home game's been postponed. And I'm like, I didn't even know when it was. I got to get on the mailing list of the Roughnecks, the Flames, the Oilers, the Stamps, the Elks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't know. Thank God for Brock at the Shark Club.
For filling us in.
Yeah, for filling us in.
Yeah, now it's time to connect with all these other teams.
That's really all that I have. Those are the guests. And Director Jordan, can you please hit the quick 6 show? Thank you for what's going on. Stop the presses. This might be the first day that I lead off the show with soccer news, okay? And how can't I? A big soccer win for Canada's national men's team. The squad maintained its unbeaten record and took a step closer to Qatar 2022 with a 2-0 victory over Honduras in World Cup qualifying play. How are we beating Honduras? That's like them beating us at hockey.
Right.
Wouldn't you think?
Well, they've had our number for a while.
Well, not anymore. Canada improved to 5-0-4 to remain atop the 8-team qualifying standings, just ahead of the U.S. and Mexico. And if I may, I didn't watch it. There was hockey on last night, but I'm a big enough person to know what's hot.
Yeah.
And it is Canada. And if they make it to the World Cup, I guess this country is going to come off its hinges. It's not till November, I notice, right?
Right.
But I will watch it if there's no hockey or football on. So way to go, Canada. And let's keep it rolling. Point 2, NHL on Thursday. Do you want the good news or the bad news first?
I like good news.
Okay, we'll start with the good news. I got to dig far and deep for it. Where is it here? Connor McDavid scoring in a shootout as the Edmonton Oilers won their third in a row, 3-2, over the Nashville Predators last night at Rogers Place. 3 wins in a row for the Oil. Are they back? Is this it?
No, not officially, but they're right there.
Fair. Okay, that's the good news. The Oilers won. Now the bad news. From a Winnipeg perspective, JT Miller registered his second career hat trick, and Vancouver snapped a 3-game skid. Was it 5-1? The Canucks won in Winnipeg last night. The Jets have lost a season-high 6 games. JT Miller scored once on the power play, twice at even strength for the Canucks, giving him the team lead in goals with 15. Brock Besser had a goal and 2 assists, and Elias Pettersson contributed a goal and assist for the Canucks. Spencer Martin made 33 saves for his first career victory. In his third game with Vancouver, Andrew Kopp scored for the Jets. And I don't know. We got a lot of viewers on Bell MTS Cable out there in Winnipeg watching on Game Plus right now. I want to hear from you what you think is wrong with the Winnipeg Jets. And the text line is open. We'll put the number on the screen, 902-518-3033. Pick up the phone and text RP. Rod Pedersen. How does she say it?
Rod Pedersen.
Rod Pedersen. 902-518-3033. Manitoba, I want to hear from you because the Winnipeg Jets, they're sinking like the sunset. And it ain't over. I mean, we still got a half a season to go. But what I'm hearing from the Winnipeg people, because I watched the Flames at the Blues, and I'm getting to that. I watched the Oilers and the Preds. We couldn't get the Jets out here in Alberta. What I'm hearing from the Jets fans is lack of energy, lack of chutzpah. Dave Lowry just stands there with his arms folded. He doesn't say anything. Connor Hellebuck's not playing well enough, but they say they're lacking some fire, and I think we discerned over the last couple of days, sorry to say, but the window might very well be closed for the Winnipeg Jets. And they're saying, blow it up. And I'm saying, what does blow it up exactly mean? Your coach is gone. I don't think you want to get rid of Ken Cheveldayoff, your general manager. He built a Stanley Cup contender that had a great run over the last 10 years, really.
Mm-hmm.
But it might be over. So what do you do?
Yeah.
Is now the time you blow it up?
Well, it's so hard because there's so many good pieces.
Yeah, right.
And when they get it together, they can play with anybody, and they're very good. So it's a really tough time in Winnipeg, and the fans don't want to blow it up because it's like, that's right there. It's like turning back right before the finish line. But you really don't know if you can get to the top, right? So that's Ken Cheveldayoff's challenge right now. It's a massive challenge.
I would say it's the owner's challenge. I think it goes higher than Chevy.
Oh, and then Chevy would, yeah. Ugh.
Like a rock. Chevy. I'm with you. With trade deadline coming up, do you start selling off pieces and start the rebuild? I think we're sitting here today. What's the date? January 28th.
I don't think you stay still.
You start the rebuild.
You either say...
You're either moving forward or you're going backwards.
Yeah, you either take one more shot at this and say, look, we're capable enough, but we just need a shake-up in the locker room or whatever, and you go. Or you say, look, we got real close, but we just need to retweak this.
Dude, that's what the Oilers are doing. Bringing in Evander Kane is that.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned. I guess, I didn't hear it because I had the Flames game on, but they announced Evander Kane in the arena, and there was boos. Did you hear that? And listen, I know those Oilers panelists, Joaquin Gage. We were on the same team together in PA. Great guy. Bobby Stauffer, wonderful guy. They're on the panel. Great signing that Evander Kane from a pure hockey. Great signing by the Oilers. I'm like, come on. They got to say it. You know what? Do you actually believe that? Come on. But they have to.
Well, they talked a lot about, and this is what I heard. I don't know who it was from on the network, but this is a low-risk signing, high-reward signing. From a hockey perspective, yes, $700,000. But from a PR perspective and from a locker room perspective, it's very high risk. because you don't know what it's going to do to your group. But from an on-ice perspective, yeah, it's low risk, and there's a lot to be gained. So it's up to McDavid and Draisaitl and Duncan Keith and Dave Tippett to manage that locker room.
Ryan McCarthy watching in Saratoga, New York, says, good day to the Rod Squad from wintry New York. It's Football Friday. Smash that like button. I appreciate that. If you're watching on YouTube right now, go down and click like. I don't ask you for much. You're watching for free, right? Go down and click like. That would be great. And tell all your friends about the greatest sports talk show that you know, the RP Show. So moving on, Adam Larson scored the first overtime goal in Seattle Kraken history, lifting the expansion team to a 2-1 victory over the Pittsburgh Penguins in Pittsburgh. In Columbus, Boone Jenner and Sean Corrali each had 2 goals, and Columbus scored 4 straight to rally from an early deficit and beat the New York Rangers 5-3. In Tampa, Anthony Cirelli had the tie-breaking goal midway through the third after failing to score on a second-period penalty shot, and Tampa Bay edged New Jersey 3-2. In St. Louis, Brandon Saad scored twice and had an assist. Ville Husso made 28 saves to win a 6th straight start, and the Blues cruised past Calgary 5-1. I was checking the Blues Twitter to see if they were going to troll the Flames afterwards about go back to Canada. And they didn't.
How classy.
They took the high road.
You know, I respect that. They did the trash talking on the ice.
I respect the hell out of that.
Yeah.
In New York, Andreas Athanasiou scored and assisted on Quinton Byfield's first NHL goal in his return from a long injury layoff. And Cal Peterson made 23 saves for the LA Kings in a 3-2 win over the Islanders. In Ottawa, Andrei Svechnikov scored the shootout winner to lift Carolina past Ottawa 3-2. And the battle of my 2 favorite U.S. teams in Sunrise, Florida, Sam Bennett scored 2 goals to lift Florida over Vegas 4-1 in a Stanley Cup Finals preview. My guy, Thad, from the Beach House, the manager over there, Beach House in Pompano Beach, sending me videos from the game. Wish you were here. I'm heading back there, but they're on the road all next week.
I know.
And lastly, Anaheim scored 3 first-period goals. Trevor Zegras scored twice in the second period, and Anaheim held off Montreal 5-4. If you watch SportsCenter in this country, and who doesn't, how many times did they show the Zegras lacrosse goal?
Half a dozen?
At least. Everybody's going to be doing it now, right? It's not that easy to do. Does that make the goalies look foolish in your mind or not?
Sometimes it does, yeah. But it's such a hard thing to stop because you don't know where it's going. You used to just have to block the bottom corner. Now you got to block the top corner, the front of the net, the back of the net, everything. And all the kids, they're practicing it now. So what they're not practicing the wrist shot. They're practicing picking the puck up off their stick. We used to do it by flipping the puck off the, you know what I mean? We'd have to like hit back off the top.
Squeeze it up against the board.
Or squeeze it up against the boards. And then we'd carry it around. They just whoop.
That's technology, Moose. We didn't have the sticks that they
That's
had.
right. The blades or something there.
Yeah, the other night on SportsCenter's Top 10, it was Top 10 trick plays or something like that.
Okay.
And I was amazed because the number 2 play was BC Place Stadium. Dan Clark, Saskatchewan Roughriders offensive lineman who lined up at center, I believe, and caught a touchdown pass in a CFL game. I called the game, and was Tino Sinceri the quarterback? I can't really remember. I think he was.
How about that?
So that was the number 2 trick play.
Oh, wow.
And number 1 was Merrick Malik shootout at Madison Square Garden for the Rangers when he went between his legs, back when nobody did it. Of course, he's 6'10". So that's amazing, too.
And you could hear John Davidson on the call. Right, going crazy.
And then the Sully was the best.
Right.
Dan Plaster and I still joke about that. This is the warm-up, by the way. We're broadcasting live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
The Saskatchewan Roughriders Football Club is pleased to announce offensive coordinator Jason Maas, defensive coordinator Jason Shivers, and assistant general manager Paul Jones have signed extensions with the club through the 2023 season. After 7 years with the Roughriders, Coach Kent Majuri has been promoted to special teams coordinator as we go through the coaching staff here. Way to go, Coach Majuri. He always used to bring his wife and kids down to my pizza restaurant, and we would give them lumps of pizza dough for the kids to play and
Oh,
make
nice.
dinosaurs and stuff with. Yeah, great guy. Former U Sports and CFL coach Kelly Jeffrey joins the staff as running backs coach. Offensive line coach and run game coordinator Steven Sorrells is back, as is wide receiver coach Travis Moore. Timo. Linebacker coach Dion Melvin and defensive line coach Ben Olsen continue in their roles, with a defensive backs coach to be hired at a future date. We'll debate this a little later on. We'll have time to do that. Jason Maas, thumbs up or thumbs down in his first year as the offensive coordinator of the Saskatchewan Roughriders? I don't know. I guess the Riders were the ugliest 9-5 team in the history of football because they want everybody fired.
Right.
That's the sense that I get.
Yeah, I know.
They don't like the quarterback. Maas sucks. Yet they hosted a home playoff game, which was unheard of for a generation.
And we got no weapons, so we need Duke Williams. Right.
I'm giving Maas the thumbs up.
Yeah, I think he gets not an A+, not an F. I think he probably is, a B-.
Rider Nation, what are you grading Jason Maas in his first year, and do you approve of his contract extension with the Rough Riders? I mean, I'm not surprised at all. They want continuity.
Yeah, I approve.
Yeah, they don't want to fire people.
It's hard. 1 year, new quarter, new group for him of players. This will be the year. 1 year is kind of an introduction. Year 2 is time to make some hay.
This is where the proof is in the pudding.
That's right.
The Western Hockey League announced the postponement of the WHL regular season game scheduled for Friday night, tonight, between the Prince Albert Raiders and Regina Pats, as a result of the Raiders being unable to field a complete team due to injuries, and an additional 6 players added to the WHL COVID protocol list. In conjunction with that announcement, the league announced the Brandon Wheat Kings will travel to Regina to face the Pats tonight, a rescheduling of a previously postponed game. The CHL on TSN national broadcast schedule, which was slated to carry the Raiders at Pats tonight, will now carry the Wheat Kings at God's team, the Regina Pats, tonight on TSN 4 and 5. So you know what I'm doing. I was going to go to the Hitmen and the Hurricanes tonight in the Saddle Dome, and then I'm like, wait a minute. I got a nice cozy room here. I got a Jimmy buffet. And I got the Pats on TV. And I got thinking this morning while in the gym working off those buffet pounds here at Grey Eagle, when was the last time the Pats were on TSN? Well, I was around. I remembered it was 1996. The last time the Regina Pats were featured on TSN. I was there. You know what was going on in 1996? Number 1 at the box office, Independence Day.
Ooh.
Remember that sci-fi thriller?
Yeah, I loved it.
Number 1 song in 1996 was Hey Macarena.
How about that?
Wow.
The Prime Minister of Canada was Jean Cranchet. The President of the United States was Bill Clinton.
Good times.
The Premier of Saskatchewan was Roy Romano. The Mayor of Regina was Doug Archer. 1996. That's what was going on.
Wow.
So it's somewhat historic tonight, and our man Craig Button will be doing color. He was sitting in that chair the other day. He was very excited to get into the sweatpants capital.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, from the sweatpants capital to the leather pants capital, the RP show. We have yet to address that.
No, we have
We were
not.
only here a couple days, and Moose is like, what's with all the leather pants in this town? Not complaining, but
Cowboy hats I expected. Cowboy boots I expected. But leather pants everywhere. The sweatpants
far as
capital
the
to
eye
the
can see.
leather pants capital. I like that.
Yeah. We're only 4 points through, and because it's Flame Tech Football Friday, it's going to be all football the rest of the way in the warm-up. On the way, Cody Janzen, the voice of the Saskatchewan Rush, Ryan Thelwell, Stampeders great, and Eddie Steele, Grey Cup champion. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus Television Network, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
A new year means a new you. Pick up a new ride to match at Capital Ford for 2022. Custom order the perfect vehicle for you, or check out our in-stock F-150s on the lot right now. Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to roll. We need your used vehicle too. We pay big and you don't even have to buy from us. Plus, our service department is always here to help. Get special pricing on name brand tires, tire storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. Start the new year right at Capital Ford Lincoln in Regina.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Number 16. A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. BDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
You are looking live at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, Calgary's entertainment destination. Look at that place. We are just to the right of your screen in the event center, and you'll see some shots once the blimp comes around there. Busy morning on the old freeway here.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe that I've waited this long. Watch your toes. I'm going to drop some names.
All right.
I spent the afternoon at Theron Fleury's house yesterday, as you know, and it was It was amazing. Like Theo's been on Fox News this week, CBC this week, talking about the trucker convoy, his vaccination status, and his phone was going off like crazy. We were sitting around the island, and he said, "I'll give you some of my special coffee. Come on, I'll give you some of my special coffee." Sounds cool.
You were talking about the special coffee days before, because you guys were trying to hook up, and he's like, "You got to come. I'll make you special coffee." And I'm like, "Okay, what is the special coffee? You got to tell me."
It was Nespresso.
He upgraded his Keurig.
I think Theo and I might be brothers from another mother, because it was an Nespresso, which you're right, is a step up from a Keurig. But then he opened the fridge and pulled out a carton of 2% milk. I'm like, that's exactly what I put in my milk too. So as his phone was going off, I'm like, Theo, I'll just leave you be. I went out to get a jersey signed. When I say out, I showed you pictures of his mansion. I rung the doorbell. He answers the door. Wee little guy, right? Huge door. It was like Macaulay Culkin at Home Alone. And I was like, he could tell what I was thinking.
Right.
And he's like, what? I didn't spend it all. Do you mind if I take some photos to you? I was like, amazing afternoon with one Theron Fleury yesterday. Oh, man. I'll jump into the comments. Well, I'll do it now. I asked for the text line, and I wanted to hear from Winnipeg. Ward in the Peg writes in regarding the Jets. He says, between injuries, COVID, players in and out of the lineup, I believe team chemistry has been affected due to these things. Just my opinion. Ward in the Peg. I've heard just about everything. The COVID thing, they were on the road for 3 weeks. But you would think if it was that tough being on the road, that when they come home, they would start winning.
Right.
They should be able to beat Vancouver. Florida, I might give them a pass. But when they say the team looks listless, you said it, they need a shakeup. And somebody tweeted me last night and said they should sign Evander Kane. And that was it. He was joking.
Yeah, they listed 10 teams. I don't think Winnipeg was on the list.
How could he's already been there?
Of teams that were exploring Evander Kane.
Back.
No.
Metal Shingle Guy regarding the Jason Maas question, should he have deserved a contract extension with the Saskatchewan Roughriders? He says, yes, he deserves an extension. It's also good to see Shivers sign. I thought Chris Jones might try and poach him. I thought that Jones might try and poach the strength coach of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, Clinton T. Spencer, another Tennessean, just like Jones. I was surprised that Clinton T. Spencer stayed with Saskatchewan, but maybe they re-upped the kitty or something for Clinton. I don't know. But I know Brendan Labatt said to me, this guy, he goes, I'd have been in the NFL if I'd had this guy as my strength coach way back at the start. That's how good Clinton is.
That's quite a stamp of approval.
Yeah, and I really like Clinton. He's staying in Sasky.
There you go.
Metal Shingle Guy goes on to say, should the Riders go hard for Speedy B in a Grey Cup year? He's talking about Brandon Banks, former CFL Most Outstanding Player. That was my 6th point, and I'm okay to jump to that. Brandon Banks. Actually, I do have it in my notes here. Bear with me. This news came down. I think he announced on Twitter that he was leaving the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Star receiver Brandon Banks is leaving the Hamilton Tiger Cats after 8 seasons with the CFL club. Banks, who said in an outgoing message that he will always bleed black and gold, played 111 games over 8 seasons with the Tiger Cats and was named the CFL's Outstanding Player in 2019. Neither Banks nor the Ticats gave a reason for the two sides parting ways. Banks was scheduled to become a free agent next month. My take is I just think he's tired of beating his head against the wall. What's the definition of insanity? He returned that kick in the 2014 Grey Cup on the last play to win the game, and called back because of an illegal block to the back, and they lost. Been there a long time, Speedy B. He's done a lot of great things, and I just think he wants to have a look around. I don't know the man other than the Twitter wars that we've had, which are hella fun for me, but spun him out of control completely. But I just think that he thinks he's never going to win in Hamilton.
Right.
That's the sense that I get. And before I go any further, longtime Rider fans will remember a guy by the name of Omar Morgan, the O-Dog. Good friend of mine, lives in L.A. now. Clark, write that down. We got to get Omar on the air in L.A. in a couple of weeks. Anyways, remember when he left the Rough Riders after all those years of playoff heartbreak? Omar Morgan leaves the Rough Riders. I think he was with the Rough Riders 6 or 7 years. Left them because he didn't think they'd ever win. Signs in Edmonton. What happens? Riders go and win the Grey Cup in 2007, right after he left.
And Omar Morgan was such a staple on that defense, a mainstay forever. We loved Omar Morgan. You know what this reminds me of even more than that? This reminds me, because it's so identical, to Chad Owens leaving Toronto. Not that he asked to leave or whatever, but he was so good. He won the Most Outstanding Player. He was electric. He was the same player Brandon Banks was. And then he goes to Saskatchewan, and I remember he couldn't get on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
He couldn't play consistently enough. He couldn't crack the starting lineup. I wonder if it'll be a similar roadmap for Brandon Banks, or if he can go and star with another team, because you've been around a while. It just reminds me of the same path that Chad Owens took.
I remember coming home from a road trip. I don't remember from where. It might have been Winnipeg, but we'd lost a heartbreaker. And Omar, and the thing with Omar was he had those
dreamy green eye. And he was looking out the window of the plane crying. And I'm like, that guy wants to win. He hates to lose more than he wants to win. You know, he is a champion.
Yeah.
But he just figured he was never going to win in Saskatchewan, so he left to go to Edmonton, and lo and behold, we win a Grey Cup. Killed me. And then he comes back, and we lose 2 more in 09 and 10. So I'm just saying, that's my sense. I don't know Brandon Banks from a hole in the ground, but I'm just thinking he's been through so much with that team, so much heartache, that he's going to try it somewhere else. And maybe they're right on the cusp. 1 out of 9 teams, man.
Right.
What are the odds? So that's my take on Speedy B. For BetRegal.ca, sign up today with a promo code RP22 and get 22 free betting dollars, welcome dollars from BetRegal.ca. AFC Championship preview. It's the first game on Sunday. Talk about newcomers versus the tried and true. Here come the Bengals, who had lost 8 straight playoff games since their last victory 31 years ago. But here they are in the conference championship game in the AFC. Awaiting them at loud, sometimes intimidating Arrowhead Stadium will be the Kansas City Chiefs in their 4th consecutive AFC championship game and seeking their 3rd trip in a row to the Super Bowl. It's not all about quarterback Joe Burrow and wide receiver Jamar Chase, but much of it is. The pass-catching combination was dynamic at LSU. It's made a huge splash in the NFL. Burrow made a sensational return from injury and is as accurate as a passer as there is in the league. He had 34 touchdown passes against 14 interceptions in the regular season. In the playoffs, he's completed 73.2% of his passes, has a 101.4 QB rating. That's the AFC story. NFC Championship preview. They've gone at each other 145 times in history. The San Francisco 49ers and the Rams, wherever they're playing. The 49ers have owned the Rams in the past 6 meetings and have a 75, 67, and 3 mark against their California rivals. Until Sunday, only one of all of those confrontations was in the playoffs. It was in 1989, and the Niners won that too, 30-3, on the way to the most lopsided Super Bowl victory ever. Now, San Fran goes for a 3-game sweep of Los Angeles, though the Rams will be at home and favored by 3.5. That's the scene for Sunday's conference championship games. Our poll for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center is, who will be the winners in Sunday's NFL conference title games? I did a quick peek, and leading the way is the home team. They're saying the Chiefs and the Rams, and I went with that. I'm not predicting an upset this weekend. There are only 2 games, Moose. I'm on the home teams. Looks like the majority of our viewers are on the Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center poll. Capital Auto Mall with dealerships all across the prairies. Again, BetRegal.ca. Welcome bonus of $22 with the promo code RP22. What are you going with?
The home teams in terms of the money line, straight up. I'll take the home teams. You know, people will look back to, what was it, late in the regular season last week or the second last week when the Bengals beat the Chiefs, to win the division and secure the playoff spot. They're capable. I mean, but this is a big stage, and Patrick Mahomes has been there. We know that. He's not, the spotlight's not getting to him. It might get to Joe Burrow. I mean, he played pretty good last week, too, against Tennessee. And their defense played pretty good, too, creating those 3 interceptions. But Patrick Mahomes is too good. And I think, Matthew Stafford, you look at the quarterbacks, that's where it starts and ends. And I think he's going to outplay Jimmy Garoppolo.
How about that? Should be hell of a game. That's the game I'm looking forward to the most. We got Johnny Burns here in Calgary. He's dropped a super chat. Thanks, Clark, to alerting me for that. That means he has paid money to get us to read his comments on YouTube. I feel so dirty for doing that, selling my soul for comments, but that's fine. I've sold it before. John Burns.
No money, no funny.
No money, no funny. John says, after winning 2-0 in Honduras, Canada hosts the U.S. 3 p.m. Eastern, Sunday on Sportsnet. Still number 1, 5 points clear of Panama, moving towards qualification. Interesting. When you say Canada hosts the U.S., where's the game? Okay, I'll leave you with that one. And he goes on to say, Bengals,
The game's in Hamilton? Thanks. Bengals 0 for 2, John says, in the Super Bowl. Will the third time be the charm versus the 49ers? That's just I'm assuming that's a rhetorical question. So we got a lot of questions today. A lot of viewers today, a lot of comments today. I apologize that I couldn't get through all of them, but it's not right now Taco Time viewer takeover yet, Moose, as you know.
That's right.
I'm just throwing in the special ones. We'll award our comment of the week today for Stacy if he wins it, unless we get a better comment here in the next hour and a half. He's leading the way. It was with regards to the giraffes sticking their neck out at the Calgary Zoo.
Right.
And he tied it in with tacos. He's the leader right now. Did you know Taco Time has been around for over 40 years in Canada? This iconic brand and a Canadian favorite serves over 3.2 million burritos, 2.5 million tacos, and over 1 million Mexi fries every year. I love Mexi fries. Football Friday is brought to you by Flame Tech, locally owned and operated industry leaders in commercial and industrial combustion technology. Moose, I'll see you back here in an hour or two, okay?
You betcha.
When we come back, we're going to talk a little Rush, Panther City. So stick around, everybody. We'll be right back. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus Television Network, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Addiction. It destroys relationships, families, and lives. It makes individuals and the people who love them feel powerless. But the good news is that addiction is a treatable illness. At Aurora Recovery Center, we provide everything you need to build a solid foundation for your recovery, with holistic, evidence-based treatment tailored to each individual. Located in Gimli, Manitoba, on the shores of Lake Winnipeg, Aurora can help regardless of whether or not you feel ready or have tried before. Aurora Recovery Center. Recovery for life. Visit aurorarecoverycenter.com for more information today.
You might not be injured if you slip and fall, or you might hit your head. That could cause a traumatic brain injury that, depending on how severe it is, could take months to heal or leave you with long-term effects. Effects like getting debilitating headaches for the rest of your life. Slips, trips, and falls can have a lifetime impact. Take safer steps with WorksafeSask.ca.
A new year means a new you. Pick up a new ride to match at Capital Ford for 2022. Custom order the perfect vehicle for you, or check out our in-stock F-150s on the lot right now. Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to roll. We need your used vehicle too. We pay big and you don't even have to buy from us. Plus, our service department is always here to help. Get special pricing on name brand tires, tire storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. Start the new year right at Capital Ford Lincoln in Regina. Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Roughriders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Beautiful morning in Calgary, Alberta. You're looking overhead at the Great Eagle Resort and Casino. That's where we're coming to you live. This is the last of 2 weeks. We're heading out of here after the show, but we are coming back in 2 weeks to continue our residency. Very excited about that. We do have a winner, hang on, Clark, in our Tough Tribe for Men contest to see who had the messiest hair. Tough Tribe for Men, hair products for men. We will announce who that winner is and show you a picture of him a little later on. But we do have a winner, and I appreciate everybody participating in that contest through Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook for Tough Tribe for Men, one of our wonderful partners. As are the Saskatchewan Rush and the NLL, and they're back home on Saturday night. Cody Janzen calls Saskatchewan Rush games, and he joins us again. And this is, listen, Cody, I say this with all due respect. It's a little battle of the basement, okay? I'm not going to call it the toilet bowl. But these are two teams on Saturday night at SaskTel Center that badly need a win. The Rush and Panther City Lacrosse. Tell our viewers what they need to know and what they'll see if they buy a ticket and come to the game Saturday night.
Well, as you said, they need a win here. It's 2 1-4 teams doing battle. But also, when you do look at Battle of the Basement, we're still 5 games in, so a win puts them in third, or tied for third at least. And that's a playoff spot in the NLL. So it's not like they're out of it yet. I know the urgency is obviously there. I don't think the panic button's been hit yet. This team still knows what they have. They just haven't executed to close to their potential. I mean, I think anyone would say that. It was a disappointing loss against San Diego. They know they can do better. And against an expansion team like Panther City that doesn't have the likes of Ryan Benesh anymore, this is an opportunity like none other to get the ship back in line.
I got to ask you this, how it's going over in your market with the Rush being 1-4. The reason I ask is they love the NLL here in Calgary, home to the Roughnecks, of course, the Saddle Dome known as the Rough House, and they're snickering a little bit that Saskatchewan's 1-4 because it's Saskatchewan and I'm in Calgary. But how much pressure is on the Rush here? What are you hearing in that town?
I don't think that there's any added pressure as much from the fans. You know, that you're going to get the on social media, comment here and there that's disappointed. But I think in general, there's a little bit more leniency, if you can put it like that, towards the Rush, knowing that, you got 3 championships since 2015. So it's a little bit of a different leash that they have. I think if all of a sudden we're talking about a 1-9 or 1-10 team, Rod, then it's a totally different story. But again, there's no reason why this team can't finish 10-8, 11-7, and have a home playoff game.
They are facing an expansion team in Panther City Lacrosse Club, and I was reading the game notes. Thank you, Rush, for sending them to me. I didn't realize that Fort Worth, Texas has been known as Panther City since the 1800s. Cody, you probably read the exact same game notes I did. But as an expansion team, they're struggling at 1-4. Is there any names on that roster that NLL fans would know or that or fans will recognize Saturday night?
Well, I think it kind of depends on how much you follow junior lacrosse, where Patrick Dodds, he was obviously a standout. He's from the island. He's leading their team. He's leading all rookies right now, actually, in points, which is pretty incredible when you consider the likes of Jeff teed up there too. But Jeff has played a couple of less games. And then, if you're in Alberta right now. St. Albert Miners fans know Mike Triolo well. He's helped them win a President's Cup or two. So, you've got Tree up there. I think he's second in points. Kevin Orleman's in net, another good product. They got Demude back there as well. So they've got some skill. They got rid of Benesh. I think that trade was more for personal reasons. I mean, he's a guy with a family. The travel schedule is a lot easier out east than going all the way down to Fort Worth. But they've got a really good young core that PK's building there. And I mean, Kelusky, he's got the squad he likes. They're good on defense. They've added guys like Jeremy Thompson, Matt Hossack. You know, they've added Travis Cornwell, who got the first goal in franchise history. I'll shout him out there. But, you know, they're building for something in the future. So I don't think this year they're as worried about making the playoffs, but building an actual team foundation.
But this isn't a Seattle Kraken type roster with a Mark Giordano and Jordan Eberle. They don't have any former captains or stars on this Panther City team, if I'm correct in saying.
Well, I mean, Benesh is going to be a Hall of Famer, but he's not there anymore. He's in Albany. And then, you know, one of the guys I think that they've really built their decor around is Matt Hossack, who, you know, won a championship in Saskatchewan. He's one of the best defenders in the games. He's one of the grittiest. I mean, I think a lot of O guys will tell you, too, he's one of the hardest to play against. He's mean. There's that tenacity there. So I would say, you know, he doesn't have the experience of a Mark Giordano. No, that's 100% fair. But he's, you know, one of the best defenders in the entire league.
Last one for you, Cody Janzen, voice of the Rush. Just tell me, because you've called or seen all of the Rush's games this year, what do they need to do as a team to get their first win?
Score more goals. That's the simple story, Rod. Essentially, they're not getting enough offense out of their guys. You know, you need someone to go off and have a night. It would be nice to see someone put up 8 or 9 points. It would be nice to see some of the righties click in and connect a little bit more and not have to rely upon Robert Church every single game off that left-hand side. It would be nice to see the penalty kill step up and, you know, start killing off a few. You know, they've been getting adequate defense, adequate goaltending. You know, they haven't allowed more than 12 goals in a game, but at the end of the day, that doesn't matter if you're not scoring 13. So you need a little bit more, and I think those righties are the ones probably feeling a little bit more of the pressure. But again, you still got some veteran lefties who could step up and have a big game, and I think that would definitely be good for their confidence and just the team going forward.
Cody, you and Darren DuPont will have the call. Where can people watch the game?
TSN Direct and ESPN Plus this week.
All right, Cody, thanks for the time. Good luck. Have fun Saturday night.
Thanks, Rod. Appreciate it.
You can get your tickets at Ticketmaster.ca, by the way. Saskatchewan Rush and the expansion, Panther City Lacrosse Club, which, by the way, there are no games in the NLL tonight, but as I said earlier, a plethora Saturday night. Rochester at Toronto, Philadelphia at Georgia, Halifax at Albany, Vancouver at Colorado, Calgary at San Diego, and Panther City at the Saskatchewan Rush, as mentioned. We do have a winner. Clark, we'll announce it when we come back. Okay, the winner of our Tough Tribe for Men prize package, and I appreciate everybody who participated in the contest. Sports update on this Friday. Canada's national men's soccer team defeated Honduras 2-0 in a World Cup qualifying match Thursday night. The game was played at the same stadium in Honduras where Canada's 2014 World Cup qualifying campaign ended in October of 2012 with a humiliating 8-1 loss. They turned the tables last night, and the dream is still alive for Canada. The Pittsburgh Penguins won't have to wait long to try and resume their winning ways. Pittsburgh hosts the Detroit Red Wings in one of 5 games in the NHL tonight. The Seattle Kraken edged Pittsburgh 2-1 Thursday night, snapping the Penguins' 6-game win streak. The New York Rangers will retire goalie Henrik Lundqvist, number 30, before tonight's home game against the Minnesota Wild. The winningest goalie in franchise history will become just the 11th player to receive the honor of a jersey retirement in New York. East Coast Hockey League has suspended former Jacksonville Iceman forward Jacob Panetta for the rest of the season for a racial gesture directed towards South Carolina Stingrays defenseman Jordan Subban. On Saturday, the ban amounts to 38 games. This sports update for Ballers Rec Room. Check out our brand new line of games for the Tap Brewhouse and Drive-Thru Liquor Store, and for Red Bull Canada. Red Bull gives you wings. We'll continue the sports talk when we return from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, Calgary's entertainment destination. You're watching on Game Plus Television, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
And you are looking live. There you go. The blimp has come around the corner here at the Event Center at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. Aerial coverage of the RP show presented by Tough Tribe for Men Hair Products. And Clark, if you do have the photo now, we can put it up. We asked our viewers to take a photo of their messiest hair that needs Tough Tribe for Men. And we've got it. There he is, David in Winnipeg. David Asplin says, I can use some hair product. Tough Tribe for Men contains aloe vera, botanicals, and antioxidants traditionally known for their scalp and hair benefits. We love our men. Welcome to the Tough Tribe. Available today at toughtribeformen.com, Amazon Canada, and coming soon to a salon near you. And I wanted to mention to Moose, today's the first day that I busted out the pomade. I didn't even know what that was. Did you know what that is, Ryan? Probably not. It's just shaved his head. Ryan Thelwell's in next here. Calgary Stampeders, Grey Cup champion. I didn't know what pomade was till today. I'll tell you, if you didn't win the contest, you can order at toughtribeformen.com. The number 4, toughtribeformen.com. The package you'll get will last you at least 6 months. You'll get shampoo, conditioner, and pomade. Maybe close to a year. So we're big believers in it. By the way, the Beach Boys are coming to the event center here at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. It is April 14th. Catch the West Coast beach vibes with one of the most influential rock and roll bands of all time, the Beach Boys. Dance and sing along to the best hits of the iconic band for one night only, April 14th at the Grey Eagle Event Center. Tickets on sale at Ticketmaster.ca. We told you about Taco Time earlier. Taco Time viewer takeover. We're in it now. I'm going to tell you that coming up next hour, Ryan Thelwell is going to join us right here at Grey Eagle. He's here. And Eddie Steele is going to join us from Edmonton. And he didn't want to make the drive down from Edmonton to Grey Eagle, but he's taking umbrage with me saying, let's just think a minute about Michael Riley getting into the Canadian Football Hall of Fame. Can we just discuss it? Instead of just opening the doors and throwing him in there, Eddie wants to talk about that. So I can't wait. And Ryan Thelwell, this guy is a big deal now. I got his Wikipedia up here. Played at Minnesota, drafted by the 49ers. Played with the Chargers, Jaguars, Steelers. Then into the CFL with BC 01 to 06. Calgary Stampeders 07 to 2010. Came out of retirement with the BC Lions in 2011. Won a Grey Cup there. 3-time Grey Cup champion. I wondered why. I'm pointing at him, talking to him like he's on the set. Why? You were classified a non-import, right? Because you were born in Jamaica. Yeah, moved when he was, I think we went over this, but we're going to do it again. Ryan Thelwell is going to be with us in hour 2. Tell some all-time CFL stories and talk about these divisional championships. His former team, drafted by the 49ers, are playing, and I don't think they're going to beat the Rams come Sunday. I'm cheering for the Rams to be in it because we're going to Super Bowl. And I want the hometown team to be in it. Now, as I look at the comments here in the time that we have left, we got a couple minutes. Taco Time viewer takeover. Dan Asham's watching in Winnipeg. He says, Winnipeg looked bad last night. And they did, the Jets, losing 5-1 to the Vancouver Canucks. Go back, hit rewind on your PVR if you're watching on Game Plus television right now or YouTube. We addressed it way back at the start. Jets fans have kind of tuned in late because we're going full on Flame Tech Football Friday. Really, the rest of the way. I said it. Ryan Thelwell's here. Eddie Steele's coming up next. We're not talking about the Winnipeg Jets now, other than to say Dupes and I have discerned it's time to blow it up. And that's not necessarily saying get rid of Ken Cheveldayoff, the pride of Blaine Lake, Saskatchewan, their general manager. That's going to be up to ownership. Mark Chipman and the gang that makes the decisions there. But we feel that the window is closed for the Winnipeg Jets. They made it to a conference final, Game 7. They've had some good playoff runs. It appears to be over. And they're saying they need a shakeup. We believe they're still a good team, but I think it's time to blow it up and start the rebuild. Whether that includes Ken Cheveldayoff or not is something that the Jets need to decide themselves. John Ohm, watching in Winnipeg, says Brandon Banks is a free agent. Watch Chris Jones get him. Last minute of play in hour 1. Last minute. Where does Brandon Banks go? That's another thing we're going to talk with Ryan Thelwell about. He would have lined up against Omar Morgan a time or two. And I told the story earlier about Omar Morgan leaving the Riders after 6 seasons because he didn't think he'd ever win. The year he leaves, they win. That's what I think is happening with Brandon Banks. For his sake, I hope not. For Hamilton's sake, I hope so. So we'll load them up, get those questions in for Ryan Thelwell, myself, and Eddie Steele. The text line is open, 902-518-3033. Again, 902-518-3033. Ball for all, you CFL fans, NFL fans. You've been waiting all week for today, and we got it. Ryan Thelwell in next. Stick around after this break on Game Plus Television. It's the RP Show, as well as YouTube Live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
You might not be injured if you slip and fall. Or you might sprain your wrist, or even fracture it. A severe wrist fracture can take at least 2 months to heal properly. And it can cause you to develop arthritis that keeps you from doing something as simple as picking up your child without pain. Slips, trips, and falls can have a lifetime impact. Take safer steps with WorksafeSask.ca.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Addiction. It destroys relationships, families, and lives. It makes individuals and the people who love them feel powerless. But the good news is that addiction is a treatable illness. At Aurora Recovery Center, we provide everything you need to build a solid foundation for your recovery, with holistic, evidence-based treatment tailored to each individual. Located in Gimli, Manitoba, on the shores of Lake Winnipeg, Aurora can help regardless of whether or not you feel ready or have tried before. Aurora Recovery Center. Recovery for life. Visit aurorarecoverycenter.com for more information today.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
These are the odds. You can lay it down right now. This is awesome. Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and then the Saskatchewan Rough Ride. Dun, dun, dun. Yes. Followed by the Argos. Argue at will, viewers.
We talk about value in betting, and it's not as much about who you actually think is going to win. It's about where you can get the best value.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
All right, welcome everybody to hour 2 of the RP Show. It's brought to you by Great Western Original 16 beer. And you're going to get a little charge out of the screen here for hour 2. Let's bring him in. Ryan Thelwell joins us. My mind is jumping all over the place here. And if you're just tuning in on Game Plus Television, maybe you're just listening to the podcast right now, I'm going to go through Ryan Thelwell's very impressive resume. It won't take long, but played at Minnesota University, drafted by the 49ers, played in the NFL with the Chargers, spent time with the Jaguars, Steelers, and then into the CFL. 7 seasons with the BC Lions, 4 with the Calgary Stampeders, and then back with the BC Lions. You would think we wouldn't get along. And we're breaking, there he is. And here we are telling old CFL stories right now. 3-time Grey Cup champion, 2-time divisional all-star. This is a Hall of Fame resume. Why are we not talking about Ryan Thelwell? And you heard what I was saying, like Eddie Steele is going to come on and talk about Michael Riley. And I love the Hall of Fame debate, Ryan Thelwell.
Yep.
Where do you stand on Michael Riley for the CFL, Canadian Football Hall of Fame?
Mike, it's not a question to me. Not a question of if, it's a matter of when.
When, yeah.
I've always been a big fan of Mike Riley, his game, his leadership. Like I remember when I went back to BC after coming out of retirement, and Mike Riley was actually the backup quarterback.
Right.
And so I'd be running scout team with Mike. And even then, in that situation, you could see that it was only a matter of time before he had his turn. And honestly, when he took off and he did what he did, I was not surprised. Just an amazing person, amazing ambassador for the game. And first, again, only a matter of when.
Let's put him in.
Yep.
Let's put him in.
Yep.
So here's one, and I'll pull that mic right up to you, Ryan, if you don't mind. You mentioned joining the 2011 Lions. You got to tell me when you joined them, because as you probably know, Tad Cornegay, a very close friend of mine, Arlen Bruce has become a close friend of mine, and they both say it's because of them. 1-5 start. Wally brings those guys in.
Yep.
Go on to win a. It's a fabled team.
Yep.
Any team that sucks out of the gate, they're like, now it's the 2011 Lions. They came back from 1-5.
Yep.
When did you join that team?
So I don't know the exact date. There must have been probably about 6-7 games left in the season. And it's a funny story. So I was actually coaching with the Calgary Colts junior football team. And we had just lost the game to the Saskatoon Hilltops. And we're driving back, and I'm with Tom Frazani.
Yep.
I'm driving in the back. And
Forecheck legend.
Yep. Oh, absolutely amazing man.
Yeah.
And, I'm not in the best of moods. We got our butts handed to us, and my phone kept going off. And so finally I answered it, and it was my wife. And she says, hey, G-Roy's trying to get in touch with you. I think that BC wants you to come back to play, so you should give him a call. So I give G a call, and he says, hey, like Ryan, this is what's going on. Wally's probably going to call you. Just tell him you're in the best shape of your life. And I hadn't done anything up to that point.
You're still a cheetah, though, man. You're still in great shape.
And so sure enough, probably 20 minutes later, I got a call from Wally, and he explained the situation. And, I'm bullshit. Like, oh, Wally, I'm in the best shape of my life. I've been running and keeping in shape. And then it was just a matter of, for me, it wasn't a question of, I bleed, orange. BC Lions, that's kind of where I started. Loved Wally, loved the organization. So it was just a matter of being able to make it work with the company that I was working with at the time. Because that's a big ask. Like, hey, can I get away here for a month?
What were you doing?
So at that time, I was working with a company called Canadian Chemical Technology. So I was doing sales in oil and gas. And so funny enough, I went in the next day to talk to my boss, and she says, are you kidding? Like, yeah, you have a job when you get back. I thought you were going to quit. Like, this is awesome. We'll even come to the Grey Cup if you guys make it, right? So, so in 2 days after that conversation, I was off and I was in BC.
Rest is history. And that was an amazing Grey Cup. Because Paul LaPolice is a really good friend of mine. You guys played Winnipeg. And
yes.
I remember saying, this is going to be the biggest speed bagging Grey Cup since 97. And it was. What do you remember about that game?
It went as I expected. Like, the BC Lions team, absolutely amazing. The talent that they had on the team, absolutely amazing. It's tough. It would have been tough to beat that team if it was in a neutral location and you got them at home. You know what? The Winnipeg team was absolutely amazing, but the game itself, they had such a veteran latent group. They were so relaxed. That's just what I remember. It was such a relaxing week leading up to the game. I remember the stomach flu kind of hit. I know it hit myself and a couple of close family members, and so after the game was a bit of a letdown for me because I pretty much
couldn't party.
Yeah, that was it, right? Like you don't get to celebrate that so very often, and so getting hit with the stomach bug, and I didn't do anything. Pretty much was in bed pretty much right after the game. So.
Well, your time in the CFL pretty much coincided with my time in the CFL, and I just remember filling out my rosters before every game going, this guy's non-import, but I don't think he's Canadian. So you got to tell me when you discovered that you had non-import status.
I just figured it was just a part of, because we moved from Jamaica when I was a kid. I was basically 3 years old, right? And we were Canadian citizens right away.
Moved to where?
London, Ontario.
Okay.
So I grew up in London, Ontario. University of Western, Greg Marshall. Greg Marshall was my high school coach, right? So for me, it was never a question of, like, I was told that there was a good chance I was going to get drafted in the CFL draft. It just happened to be, I got drafted into the NFL, got drafted. It wasn't a big deal back, when I say big deal, in the media. Like, my dad was the one that called me to say, hey, BC Lions drafted you. Like, it wasn't, broadcasted on TSN. And I was actually I was in San Francisco at the time, right? So, to me, I just always thought, yeah, I'm a Canadian. Like, it's not
right.
Didn't even
Wasn't a big
question
deal.
it. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Lions, you were drafted in '98 by San Fran.
Correct.
What year did you go? Oh, here it is. CFL Draft 1998. Same year.
Yes.
Second round, 9th pick. Who was running the Lions? It was Barato there?
Steve Barato.
Yeah.
I think Adam Rita.
Good group.
Was there. Yep. Great group. They had, so I didn't get there until 2001. So they had just won the Grey Cup. I believe against,
I wasn't at that one. It was here. Right?
Calgary.
Yeah.
Montreal?
I guess. I believe. Let me look it up.
Right. So I pretty much walked right into that. Damon Allen, that group, Alfred Jackson. So it was a good thing for me because, it was just a good group of guys that we had on that team, and it just made that transition easy.
You know what's funny? You asked before we went on the air if I still talk to guys from the old days. I spent a half an hour on the phone with David Benefield this week. Mr. Furious.
Yes,
he's going to be in Los Angeles for Super Bowl, and he's like, you know how he talks. Yep. Rod, dude.
He's a surfer boy. He speaks just like it. Yeah.
He's like, if you're in L.A., I'm coming down, just like you have today, and I really appreciate you doing that.
No problem.
But Benefield, man, those were the days.
Yep.
Man, he must have been one of the most ferocious defenders you've seen, CFL or NFL.
Yes.
That guy's a beast.
He was a monster.
Yeah.
And he was intimidating. You would look at him, he'd have his face painted. And the thing is, the nicest guy off the field. It was like that switch flipped, right? So, yeah, he was a good man. I really enjoyed playing with him.
Yeah, no kidding. So 3 Grey Cups wins, 94th, 96th, and 99th. You ever get asked the dumbest question of all time, which one you love the most?
Yeah, I get that. I get that all the time.
What do you say?
They're all the same to me.
Yeah.
It's tough to come by. Like, you would think with a 9-team league, like it would be easy to come by.
Yeah.
Not. Right? It's each one was different in their own way. Amazing teammates. Just with a league with such history, to me, they all have a special meaning in their own way, but I just feel like I'm very blessed. I'm one of very few that have had an opportunity to actually hold that Grey Cup and have it at home and have my name on it. So special.
2006 with BC.
Yes.
When Kelly Bates broke the trophy.
Yes. Oh, yes.
2008 with Calgary.
Correct.
In Montreal.
Correct.
Had to be a very special win. And then we talked about 2011. Tell me about the Montreal game, because you talk about home team Grey Cups. You're going in there as the road team.
Yes.
With Henry Burris. Yeah. And these Stampeders facing Mark Trestman's Alouette. What was that game like? Did you feel like the villain in that?
Yes, a little bit. But we did not. That team did not lack confidence at all. We had a great group of guys. We had a great leader in Coach Huffnagel. I'm sure you've seen the speech that.
We got him right where we want him. Yeah. They still talk about that speech.
To me, one of the best speeches.
Yeah,
I've heard. We were already fired up. It's a Grey Cup, but that just took it to another level. And And during that season we played Montreal tough, even when we played them in Montreal. So, fans, noise, that wasn't a big deal. Heck, we played you guys enough, so the noise wasn't going to be an issue, right? We're used to Saskatchewan, so it was. We knew we were going to win going in that game.
Yeah, it's 11:11 Mountain, by the way. I just wanted to point out to everybody. The opportunity portal is opening. Yeah, my cousin Christine is watching in Medicine Hat. And she says, good things happen to good people with regards to your 3 Grey Cup.
Janice Owen, she's a Stamps fan living in Edmonton. She says, 2011 BC Lions, proof that Wally is the godfather of the CFL, putting together a team for all time, was there for the Grey Cup, a game and season to remember. Hashtag Stamps fan in Edmonton. She's a Stamps fan saying that was not just the game, the week was amazing. It was nice weather. It was everything that you want for a Grey Cup. Jeff, the Stamps fan watching, says BC won the Cup in 2000 versus Montreal at McMahon Stadium, and Steve Barato was the coach. But you dropped the funniest bomb of all. It was what your dad told you when you retired. Because here's the thing, folks. Early 2000s, the first half of the decade, Riders Lions was hate.
Yeah.
It was hate. Roy Shivers going against Carl Kidd, blah, blah, all this stuff. And then it became Riders Stamps. Probably was even hotter than the Riders and Lions. And you're in the middle of it.
I've been a part of both. Yeah.
And me too. So much fun.
I loved it. Yep.
That's what you want. Tell me what happened when you retired.
So retired. My dad's a big football fan, and with me being in the league, he was always following what I did and cheering for whatever team I was playing for. But the day I retired, he came out and told me that he was a Riders fan. Roy Shivers. Yeah.
Go ahead.
He was a closet Riders fan, and you know what? I can't blame him. I'm not surprised, to be honest with you. Because whenever we would play, he would, of course, let's go Stamps, let's go Lions. But, hey, did you see the Riders game the other day?
Come on.
Yeah, so.
I shouldn't have to tell our viewers, but some may not know that Roy Shivers and Danny Bear were the first African-American coach and GM tandem in pro football history. And I think they did gain a lot of fans for that. They made the Riders cool again. Now, I got to ask you, with your non-import status and your talent, Roy would have been knocking on your door, I would think, somewhere along the line.
You know what? I never spoke with Shiv. No, I
never had a contract effort, really.
No. But I loved what he did. I thought he was brilliant. People that have dealt with him spoke highly of him and speak highly of him to this day. Right. So if he had, I definitely would have considered.
Right.
Because I heard he was just an amazing person to play for.
Everybody loved him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Canadian wide receivers were more rare than they are now.
Yep.
And so I'm just saying, would fetch some dough, right? So, and I know Roy was not averse to tampering a little bit too. Ryan H. in Winnipeg's watching. He says, what do you think, Rod and Ryan? Could you see Brandon Banks as a Blue Bomber? Spicy. I could see Speedy B with any team at FCFL. What do you think about him saying I'm done in Hamilton?
I was surprised. Yeah. Because he's done so much for that city and that organization, but it happens. I've seen it happen to guys like amazing G-Roy going to Saskatchewan, Nick going to Montreal. This is a part of the game. I personally think that he's still got some gas left in the tank, and he would help out any team that would take him. So I hope him leaving Hamilton doesn't mean he's not planning on playing again, because he's such a talented player.
Did you heard what I said about the Omar Morgan comparison?
Yes.
That's the first thing I thought. Was he just doesn't think he'll ever win in Hamilton. Omar thought that.
Yeah.
Would you think this would be a potential of why he did it, or why do you think he did it?
You know what? That's a good question. I don't know. But if that's the case, like, Hamilton's not that far off.
Right.
Right. Just a few changes here or there, and it could get him over the top. Like the Grey Cup came down to the last minute, so they're not that far off. So I can't see that being the issue.
Good point. Who knows? And I don't know if you'll ever say.
Yeah.
But like when you say, Omar keeps ringing in my mind, because 2006 West final, Paul McCallum misses a field goal. You were there.
Yep.
We weren't far off either.
Yep.
Right? So Omar was the beneficiary of bad timing when he left. By the way, we got about a minute. Tell me what you remember about that game when we were in overtime, and Duncan O'Mahony, I think, was kicking for you guys.
Yes.
What do you remember?
That was the 2004 West Finals. First off, most amazing game, college, NFL, CFL that I've ever been a part of.
There's 55,000 people there.
Atmosphere was absolutely amazing. The back and forth was absolutely amazing. And from what I remember was thinking to myself, and I honestly did not blink when we had to drive the field to kick that field goal. We had been doing it all year, and we had a great group of guys, a talented team, and we just had such confidence. And and Duncan stepped up, and I've watched that 1,000 times, and he almost hesitated before he stepped into the kick, and it just barely made it over. And I don't know, it's just the stars were aligned perfectly for that.
Of course, but it seems like, does 53 yards sound right? Was it that long?
Yeah, it was in and around that range. Yeah.
And I got my years wrong. You don't have CTE. I do. Because McCallum was with you guys in 06.
Yes, correct.
So he missed in 04 and then goes on and wins with you. Anyways, we'll talk NFL with Ryan Thelwell when we come back. We're enjoying the viewer questions as well, so get them in. We're live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, and you're watching on Game Plus Television, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time. Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. Casino dancing.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
You might not be injured if you slip and fall, or you might hit your head. That could cause a traumatic brain injury that, depending on how severe it is, could take months to heal or leave you with long-term effects. Effects like getting debilitating headaches for the rest of your life. Slips, trips, and falls can have a lifetime impact. Take safer steps with WorksafeSask.ca.
A new year means a new you. Pick up a new ride to match at Capital GMC for 2022. Custom order the perfect vehicle for you, or reserve a unit that's already on its way. Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to roll. We need your used vehicle too. We pay big and you don't even have to buy from us. Plus, our service department is always here to help. Get special pricing on name brand tires, tire storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. Start the new year right at Capital GMC in Regina.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Grey Eagle Resort, the place to be. Check out their website for all of their spring acts coming. Jeff Foxworthy, the Beach Boys. You see Bianca Del Rio, the life and times and music of George Michael, all right here at the Event Center, Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. From our viewers, Ryan in Winnipeg says, Ryan Thelwell is a great interview. Loving the show today. Me too. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
And I got it before we get into the NFL analysis, and I always have tough times with my headphones here. You got a hell of a story here about Nick Lewis.
Oh, Nick. Yeah.
And Cope for that matter, but tell the viewers if you don't mind.
Oh, gosh. So the one thing I love about the CFL is the people you meet along the way. And
of course.
So in 2006, I was just coming towards my last year with the BC Lions. I was going into free agency. And so when that process began, there were a few teams that were interested. So, and of course, being from Ontario, it was Toronto, Hamilton, and Calgary was probably the lead. Like, they were the most aggressive with regards to me coming on board. And so you're trying to weigh your options. You try to take, the good, the bad, and one of the things that I had on my negative list was I couldn't stand, and I didn't know them. I just played against them. I did not like Nick Lewis, and I did not like Jermaine Cope. I did not like them.
How about that?
But so I ended up signing in Calgary. And so my first day here is before training camp, and we're out, Henry and Nick and Cope and Kenyon, and we're just throwing the ball around and never questioned his talent. I thought he was an awesome player. I just didn't like him. And so I'm watching him. He's catching balls between his legs, like just amazing catches, like stuff you see Beckham doing today. Nick was doing that back in the day. So later on that night, we had a charity event that we were attending. It was Henry Burris's Big Brothers Big Sisters, and I'm out with Nick, and I had the best time ever. Like, I remember getting home that night and telling my wife, like, honestly, like, maybe I was wrong. Like, the perception of who this guy is completely different from what you see on TV to when you actually spend time with him personally. And I remember talking to G-Roy and saying, like, gee, like, this guy's actually pretty cool. So my wife and I got married in 2009. We were together way before that, but we didn't end up getting married in 2009. Well, guess who stood up for me as my best man? Nick Lewis. Yeah. And so to this day, like, Nick is my guy. Like, we his wife, his kids, whenever he comes to town, he visits the family, and, it's just an amazing man. I love him. Like, he's a brother, right? So, I actually talked to him before I came on. He told me to tell you hello. And
yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Wonderful guy.
Yeah.
And to be honest, speaking of wonderful guys, I promise we'll get to the NFL Conference Championships. The guy's NFL alum. I want to get his take. But when G-Roy Simon was announced he's going to Edmonton, it shocked a lot of people. It didn't shock me, other than to say that Chris Jones and G-Roy Simon had never been on the same team before. So I asked them both about that, and they explained why. And G-Roy explained that to you too? You talked about that with him?
I wasn't surprised at all. I felt like G-Roy had paid his dues. He's one of the smartest guys that I know. He's ready. And he would talk about, spending time with Chris Jones on the road, and, they, of course, knew each other through the league, but he was always a big fan of Coach Jones and, his do whatever it takes attitude to win. And, when Coach Jones approached him, he said it wasn't a question for him. It was, the opportunity was absolutely amazing. And, say what you want about Coach Jones. I know there are people that say negative things. Of course, good and bad with anything. I think he's an absolute amazing coach. I've always enjoyed Coach Jones, when he was here in Calgary, and I've always been a fan of him as a coach. And he's a winner, right? So to put those two together, I think it's good for Edmonton. I think it's good for the league when Edmonton's winning, right? So,
of course. So as a CFL alum, but also a receiver, I wonder what you think about a Darius Bowman signing and Manny Arsenault and Caleb Hawley, because Chris is getting scorned for that. He always is going to. This is all that I thought about it, is I know Jones well enough that he lays awake at night staring at the ceiling thinking about how to win.
Yep, exactly.
And the winners do that. These guys are a little long in the tooth, though. Like AD hasn't played
for a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
3 years, I think.
Yeah.
So what did you think about that?
I personally thought, yes, I have a chance. I'm going to give Giroy a call and Coach Jones.
How about
I'm going to
that?
start running again. And you know what? It surprised me just because of the names, right? Because there's guys that you haven't really seen in the limelight for a while. But I follow Manny on social media. He takes great care of himself. Like, you look at him, he's in amazing shape. Why not, right? You bringing them in, you see how they do. They're veterans. They know the game. They know the league. To me, it doesn't hurt, right? See how it goes in training camp, and then you make a decision from there. I wasn't surprised.
I think Jones has learned his lesson in a few ways, too, that in Saskatchewan, you were following what he was doing with us. Yes. And I was with the club in 2016 when he came and went through 114 players,
Yep.
Ryan.
Yep.
The prior record was like 86 or something. So I think Jones learned his thing there, that young guys just take too long, right, to develop. That's what I think.
Yep. I agree, right? We're in a win now society.
Yeah,
exactly. You got to win now, and he's going to do whatever it takes to win next year, not 2-3 years from now, right? So if that means bringing in guys that know the game, and of course he's still going to be able to play, go for it.
Mm-hmm. I promised that we would talk about the AFC Nfc Championship games on Sunday. You'll be watching, obviously. Ryan was drafted by the San Francisco 49ers in 1998. So do you have any affinity or affection for them in that game against the Rams? What's your thoughts on the game?
I'm excited for the game. So I am an Eagles fan. They got knocked out pretty early.
Yeah.
My second team is the Tennessee Titans. They got knocked out right away.
Maybe you're the bad luck.
I think me picking a team might not be a good thing because they seem to always lose. But I'm excited for them. For that game in particular, I'd like to see San Francisco come out and go to the Super Bowl. It's going to be a good game. As long as it's a good game, that's what excites. Like, last weekend is the best weekend of football I've seen ever.
You're saying ever. Yeah, exactly.
Ever. Like, it was just absolutely amazing. If they can do that again, it's a win.
I'm dying to get your take on this. I'm a very amateur bettor. I tell people, don't take my advice on any of this.
Yeah.
But what about, like, the 49ers have beaten the Rams twice this year already.
Yes.
6 in a row overall.
Yeah.
Are you a believer in that? Because I remember arguing George Cortez, very good friend of mine, and the year that the Stamps and Riders played 4 times, including playoffs. George was like, hard to beat a team 4 times in a row. And I'm like, I don't know. If you're a better team, it shouldn't be.
Yep.
Like, are you a believer in that stat, like the winning streaks and stuff? Or
I'm not, but it happens. Like, they have, right? Like you said, right? And I'm just a believer in whoever's better on that day. But also, there's extra, I shouldn't say extra incentive, because all games are big, but this is for the NFC Championship, right? They have a chance at home, win one game, and then they're playing in the Super Bowl at home. I just think it's who's better on that day, and there's different variables. It's always changing from game to game, right? So I'm not a big believer in that.
Right. I'm not either, by the way. Right. I see the numbers. I see the stats.
The numbers are there.
Right. But I got to say this. So are you picking San Fran to win, or you just want them to? You're picking them to win.
I am. I'm picking them to win.
Can you imagine the pressure on the Rams to play in that stadium in their own town? Like, nobody's really talked about that. In the CFL, we talk about it all the time. And you won a Grey Cup in Vancouver in 2011.
Yes.
Was there a sense of pressure on that team?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's interesting. In it happened in 2005. The Grey Cup was in BC. We had finished first, and we ended up playing Edmonton at home in the West semis, and we lost. Pressure it's there. Like, you look at last weekend, the home teams that lost. There is that extra pressure that added. You can't tell me that the Rams don't feel it. Like, they've got, again, win 2 games at home to be Super Bowl champions.
That's why I find it odd, because I watch all the coverage, read everything. I don't see it being talked about. And I'm like, why are we not talking about this? Yeah. It has to be there. Now, on the flip side, the AFC Championship game, Cincinnati's at Kansas City. We had our good friend Mo Egger on from ESPN Cincinnati the other day, and he said the Bengals are playing with house money. And I'm like, well, that's a dangerous way
Yeah.
That can't leak into their thinking or they're going to get their butts kicked in KC.
I agree. KC's just that good.
Yeah.
Like they've been playing good ball. They've found ways to win. But I just kind of feel like Kansas City's another beast within itself, right? That house money mentality, I don't think it's going to work if that's their mentality going in.
It's okay for the fans.
Yep.
For the fans to think that. The team can't think that.
Yeah.
Did we lose the feed on Ryan, guys? Oh, Eddie did. Okay. So what do you need me to do here? Are we good? You'll get Ryan. Eddie Steele logged in early and knocked you off the air. So, but we can still hear you, Ryan. So that's the main thing.
Okay,
so
perfect.
In the Kansas City Cincinnati game, so you're obviously taking the Chiefs to win just because they're much better.
Yeah. So I want Cincinnati to win, but I feel that KC's just too strong. So yeah, Kansas City's going to win.
Do you think that Cincinnati is a team on the rise or a flash in the pan?
Definitely a team on the rise. So much talent on the offensive side, and they're playing good ball on the defensive side. And I'm happy for the city of Cincinnati. Like it's been so long that they've had this optimism and with the core group of young guys, and that's the term young. I think that the future is great for them.
What is your conference final Sunday schedule going to be like? What are you going to do? Take me through the day.
Oh gosh! So the thing is, when you have 4 kids, you have a pretty tough schedule. So my wife says I can only watch one game. I can't spend the entire day watching football. I got to pick and choose. So
Niners Rams.
So I think it's going to be the Niners Rams game. That's going to be the game that I'm going to watch.
Yeah, good for you. Well, Ryan, appreciate you coming down. We're going to move Eddie Steele in here next, but we're going to be here a lot, so you got an open invitation. I know the casino's very happy to have you down here. I appreciate
thank you. Thank you so much, my friend.
CFL great, 3-time Grey Cup champion Ryan Thelwell here at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, Calgary's entertainment destination. We're going up to Edmonton next because Eddie Steele has something he wants to get off his chest. I'm very much looking forward to that on this Flame Tech Football Friday on Game Plus Television, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Addiction. It destroys relationships, families, and lives. It makes individuals and the people who love them feel powerless. But the good news is that addiction is a treatable illness. At Aurora Recovery Center, we provide everything you need to build a solid foundation for your recovery, with holistic, evidence-based treatment tailored to each individual. Located in Gimli, Manitoba, on the shores of Lake Winnipeg, Aurora can help regardless of whether or not you feel ready or have tried before. Aurora Recovery Center. Recovery for life. Visit aurorarecoverycenter.com for more information today.
You might not be injured if you slip and fall, or you might sprain your wrist, or even fracture it. A severe wrist fracture can take at least 2 months to heal properly. And it can cause you to develop arthritis that keeps you from doing something as simple as picking up your child without pain. Slips, trips, and falls can have a lifetime impact. Take safer steps with WorksafeSask.ca.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. As we continue from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, we haven't seen a lot of the Moose, but you're going to, right, Moose? He's here. He's here. We got to talk about the Tough Tribe for Men pomade. I just, today's the first day I busted that stuff out. If you order toughtribeformen.com, the number 4, that stuff will last you for almost a year, I think. It's a big package that you get. We're going to Edmonton now. Eddie Steele, Grey Cup champion, Elks insider, joins us on the program today from his vehicle. How you doing, Eddie?
On the right side of the ground. Dream, man, I can't complain. And if I did, nobody would care.
Well, I would, Eddie. I would. Listen, yeah, you're right. We opened our eyes today. It's a win. Eddie, listen, producer Clark told me that you wanted to come on and talk about Michael Riley. Is that what you want to do? What are we talking about here today?
And we can talk whatever you want football-wise. Talk about NFL. I know you touched on NFL earlier in the week about, the controversial overtime. Obviously, it's been a week with Michael Riley retirement. I'm sure you know about the news over here in Elkland with Adarius Bowman and Manny Arsenal. Just re-signed in Hamilton, and burn him. What's going on right now?
Yeah, well, hey, listen, it's seeming like we won't have enough time to get through all of this. Clark, are we okay? Oh, okay, you're going to get him to refresh his feed there. Yeah, he's breaking up a little bit, which is unfortunate because he's coming in hot, Eddie Steele, as usual. I'll read a couple comments here from the viewers. You guys tell me when we got Eddie back. Put him on the screen so I know. Colin Voss says, great interview as always, Rod. Well, thanks, but of course, that's because of the guests, not me. Ryan Thelwell, I think, is going to be a regular down here. There we go. We got Eddie back, I think. Do we have Eddie back or not? Darren in Salt Lake City watching says, I heard that Los Angeles has made some sort of COVID mandate to limit the Niner fans who get into SoFi Stadium. I would hope that's not true, but who knows? Ryan Jackson watching on YouTube says, yes or no, should the Oilers have signed Evander Kane? Ryan, don't ask questions that you know the answer to already. We're all going to say no, right? Over 80% of respondents in all the polls are saying no, the Oilers should not have signed Evander Kane. Now, if he ends up taking him to the Stanley Cup, hindsight will be 20/20, and you'll be skating around the ice with Ken Holland on your shoulders. But I just don't see that happening. And think about this for a second. The Oilers have won 3 in a row without Evander Kane. So do they really need him? It's not like you're injecting the greatest leader in sports, Mark Messier, into your dressing room. You're injecting Evander Kane into your dressing room that's been kicked off his last 3 teams. There's my take on that. David Asplin watching in Winnipeg says, thanks, Rod and gang, for picking me for the contest. Chopping my mop today to clean it up. I'll say it again. David Asplin in Winnipeg is the winner of our Tough Tribe for Men prize package, and you can order yours online, toughtribeformen.com. That's the number 4,
To be honest, I just busted out the pomade today for the first time, Moose. The shampoo and the conditioner I've been using for a while, and I smell like $1 million. But the pomade, game changer. It's a paste. My hairstylist in Boca Raton said, we need to get you some hair paste. And I said, I'm going to Canada. I don't need it for now. Tribe for Men package was waiting for me when I got here. And how about that? What's going on with Eddie? Are we getting him back? Oh, boy. Says Clark, we're working on it. Oh, man, I want to talk ball with Eddie. We got him now? Okay, let's start with this. Eddie, let's start with NFL. Well, we got you, bud. NFL Conference Championships this Sunday. Rapid fire. Who are your winners?
You know, I think my heart says the Rams, but I think San Fran's going to take it to them. I think Kyle Shanahan is he's got the number of Sean McVay. Obviously, the Rams are much more, on paper, a much more talented roster. But in these playoffs, it becomes big boy football. And the Niners have a really physical team. So I think the Niners are going to take it to them. And I'm on the Cincy train. It's pretty cool to see what they're doing. Young, talented team. And I think that they're going to put up a good fight. I mean, they just beat the Chiefs not too long ago in a pretty big comeback win, too, to save their playoff hopes. So I think they have that. And, the blueprint is there. They've done it. So I think they're going to go into that game confidently against Kansas City.
Eddie Steele picking the road teams. Take that to the bank. I'm taking both the home teams, but that's just me. Moving on and back to the CFL. I got a lot of things to get with you on that. Jason Ma's re-signing in Saskatchewan. He's getting criticism. Cody Fajardo's getting criticism. Eddie, you've played in Saskatchewan. You know what it's like. You're going to dissect every single thing that they do. What's your grade of Jason Ma's in his only season as offensive coordinator in Saskatchewan?
If I had to put a grade on it, I would probably say in the B area. You can go B+, B-, however you want to look at it. It wasn't a terrible year. They had some success, and they did their thing on offense for most games. It wasn't like they were putting up 30, 40 points a game and a prolific passing offense. It's been well documented, my opinion on Cody Fajardo. And, guy can play football, guy can win games. But, we'll leave it there. Everybody knows, and I've had it out with people on Twitter about my opinion of him. But I clearly am not alone with how I view him. Chris Jones came out and made some comments. Some other players had spoken out. So it's not just Eddie Steele against Cody Fajardo. I don't have this hate on for him. But that's just my opinion. It's good to see them, locking up some coaches in place. Jason Shivers, I'm a big fan of him. I was a teammate of his way back in the day. And then he coached me multiple times in Edmonton and then in Saskatchewan. It's really awesome to see where he's come from and just the growth. And, he really has just taken on that defense and molded it into his own version of it, obviously with a little bit of Chris Jones philosophies in there. So, it's interesting how they extended them, and they all are in sync now. The two coordinators, Dickey and Jeremy O'Day's contracts, they're all in alignment now, and they all expire at the same time. So it'll be interesting to see what happens this year. It's a big year over there.
Great analysis, Eddie. That's why you're one of the best. And by the way, you never did trash Cody Fajardo. You just said, hey, I'm not on the Fajardo train. I remember it. And everybody attacked you, right? But I think you know of what you speak. Now, I mentioned CFL things. I'm sitting here in Calgary. It's an underrated CFL town. It's one of the greatest CFL cities. You know that. You've played here a million times. They love the CFL. They love the Stamps. And they're looking up at Edmonton going, what is Jones doing? And I'm like, it's Jones being Jones. You guys should know you had him here, but as a defensive coordinator, not in a significant role of power. You know what I mean? He was making no personnel decisions here. Now he's making them all in Edmonton. So what are they saying up there in another great CFL town about what Chris Jones is doing?
Initially, you had a lot of people when he signed, they go to the same old kind of tired commentary of, he's just going to be here for a couple of years and he's going to scram. And, that sentiment kind of, it wears, because is that all you got to say? Because other than that, I mean, he's wins, and he's shown that he wins. I think what he's doing right now in terms of especially signing guys like Adarius and Manny Arsenault, actually Matt Elam, you probably remember him from Sask.
Great player.
And Daniel Ross. Yeah, he was a good player. And Daniel Ross, too. I remember when he came into the CFL, he was in Edmonton, actually, in 2014 as like a 20-year-old kid. Like Jones found this guy out of junior college and brought him up, and uber talented. I just couldn't really figure it out, the playbook and things of that nature. But then he goes and he bounces around the NFL for the past couple of years. So clearly the talent is there. But biggest thing, and again, been well documented how I felt about the previous regime and just the culture and how the overall organization was run. I think Jones is bringing these guys in to establish a winning culture, establish a veteran presence in that locker room with guys who have been there, done that, had a ton of success, and won in this league. And they know what it takes to win. I don't think Adarius and Manny are being signed to come in and be the bell cow, a couple of 1,000-yard receivers. I think they're there more for that leadership, that presence, and this team needs a cultural shift, and that was one of the main overriding issues with the Elks last year was lack of team culture, lack of direction, and Jones is putting a stamp on it by bringing these types of guys in who know Chris Jones and knows what he expects, and they can kind of be like coaches on the field and in the locker room to really turn things around.
Eddie, last one for you. I don't know. You're an analyst. Let's see if you can be an insider. If you don't know the answer to this, look into it for me, please. Clinton T. Spencer re-signs in Saskatchewan, doesn't join Jones in Edmonton. Shocked the heck out of me. Do they got a great strength coach up there, or why do you think Clinton stayed and didn't follow Jones?
Ty. Remember Ty Robinson?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Clinton's...
Ty's doing it. Right. Well, there's that guy knows fitness.
So that is, there is a correlation there because Clinton and Ty worked closely together for the years that I was in Saskatchewan. So, they've been together for a few years now. So there's definitely a connection there. And that's the one thing I got to say about Jones, man. He looks out for his guys. He does. If you're in with Chris and you have a good relationship and, a guy like him gets positions that he gets when he can have the power to make decisions, he's going to look out for his guys. I mean, as a player, he looked out for me when I got cut. As coaches, he looks out for his boys. He's loyal. I have to say that about Chris Jones. He might not be loyal to franchises where he bounces around, but he's not just bouncing around either. He's going for promotions, and you'd be crazy in life not to go after promotions the way he's gotten promotions.
That's why everybody loves him. Eddie, we're out of time. Appreciate this, man. Thanks for chiming in. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the games.
You too, Rod. Take care, brother.
CFL analyst Eddie Steele from Sportsnet, and hopefully soon Edmonton radio somewhere. The Moose will join us here for overtime as we wrap up this residency for this stint at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino right after this on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
You might not be injured if you slip and fall, or you might sprain your wrist, or even fracture it. A severe wrist fracture can take at least 2 months to heal properly. And it can cause you to develop arthritis that keeps you from doing something as simple as picking up your child without pain. Slips, trips, and falls can have a lifetime impact. Take safer steps with WorkSafeSask.ca.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop staffed by PGA of Canada professionals is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right. A new year means a new you. Pick up a new ride to match at Capital GMC for 2022. Custom order the perfect vehicle for you, or reserve a unit that's already on its way. Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to roll. We need your used vehicle too. We pay big and you don't even have to buy from us. Plus, our service department is always here to help. Get special pricing on name brand tires, tire storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. Start the new year right at Capital GMC in Regina.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
One final time for this stint. We're coming at you from Grey Eagle Resorting Casino. Aerial coverage provided by Bronco Plumbing and Heating. How about that, Moose?
Sounds so good.
Why doesn't it?
It sounds so
Aerial
good.
coverage provided by Bronco Plumbing and Heating. Call us today and book your duct cleaning. As the Moose is with us, Darren Moose Dupont, we do wrap up this residency here at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, but we are coming back in a couple weeks' time.
Yeah.
It's just been fantastic, and I have to say this, great work. I can't remember how this came about. Clark told me, but I forgot that Ryan Thelwell ended up joining us live down here. He says he watches the show all the time, and I love watching you because you're just such a CFL fan.
Yeah.
Right? Thelwell was right in your wheelhouse, so watching the CFL.
Of course he was.
And to listen to those stories, and
I love it.
That was a big old time.
That was great. And that's, I sit here as a fan, and I can understand that point of view. Here is somebody who loves this business too, and I'm like, the stories and getting those guys down here, it's awesome. We need to see their faces more, and so from the moment I let him in the front door to the moment
smiling?
he left, he didn't stop smiling, and neither did I.
I know. It's great.
Yeah.
So we'll be back here in a couple of weeks, and we've just cracked the treasure chest of Calgary sports personalities: Flames, Stampeders, pro wrestling, Olympics. Who knew?
Mm-hmm.
Hour 2 of the RP Show is brought to you by Original 16, the new Canadian Ultra Lager from Original 16. With only 80 calories, you can feel great drinking at any time. The rock star of the day yesterday was Kyle Krinkovic, believe it or not, of the Saskatoon Blades. I have a feeling today's rock star of the day is going to be Ryan Thelwell. Why not, right?
Yeah.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions specializes in improving your company's performance and bottom line through supply chain management services. And while we're sitting here talking about it, Taco Time Viewer Takeover, real food, real value, real flavor, Taco Time. Our comment of the week does go to Stacey Champagne in the Queen City. His comment earlier, I don't think we have it on the screen, but it was about sticking your neck out. You got to love giraffes because they stick their neck out for people.
Bingo!
Yeah. And then he brought in a Taco Time reference to it as well. So congratulations, Stacey. You've won a $50 gift card from our friends at Taco Time. There you go. That's all the sponsors that are fit to print. Moose, you've got a big weekend ahead. You got your pullover on there, I see.
Yeah, that'll be tomorrow night. It's Western night, and the NLL is encouraging Western wear on the broadcast. So I got to pull up my cowboy hat, and I've got one.
Western night in the old SaskTel Center, huh?
Yeah. It's not fake. I'm not going to the store and buying one. I actually have one. So that'll be good. It'll be fun. So it's going to be a great weekend. I'll be on the road back, and then can't wait to get back here in a couple weeks.
You've called on television in the last few months, NLL, university football at the highest level. Hardy Cup, you were on that broadcast.
That's right. I called the Hardy Cup. SJHL,
SJHL, WHL. What's your favorite?
I like the small towns, the SJHL, going out and doing those games. I love that. It's fun. Championships. So the Hardy Cup, that was the best because I love championships. It's the moment is cool, and Saskatchewan won that one over Manitoba, so that was neat. For me, that was the best.
It was a trick question. It's like asking Ryan Thelwell.
They're all good, right?
Right.
Which is your favorite?
Asking Ryan Thelwell, what's your favorite Grey Cup?
Yeah. Or your favorite kid or whatever.
Right. You're not supposed to say.
Well, I like this one right now, and you go around the room and say why you like each of them, but
they're all great for different reasons.
Yeah.
But as I said, I got a lot of work to do between now and when we come back here, and that not the least of which is getting on the Stampeders, Hitmen, Roughnecks, Flames email list and getting their news and stuff. It's a whole new world.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I should tell you, I think most people know that we will be broadcasting from the Super Bowl in Los Angeles. We've got several live guests that have offered to come down and join us from our broadcast location. Some NFL alumni, CFL alumni. That's going to be fantastic. Maybe some people from the entertainment industry. And by the way, featured game tonight, last minute of play in the RP show. There are 5 NHL games tonight. None of them are my featured game. There's a ton in the dub. Wheat Kings at the Pats. That's my featured game, okay? Really big game in Moose Jaw tonight. The Winnipeg Ice are there. Warriors coming off the butt kicking of the Edmonton Oil Kings. They want to see if they can do it tonight against Winnipeg. No NLL games, but 6 on Saturday. Do you have one particular featured game tonight that you're going to be watching more than the others?
I don't know. I'm just kind of into it all, and the football weekend will be great. So, not one game tonight.
Yeah, sports back in a big, big way. It's going to be a fantastic weekend. When we come back here in a couple weeks' time, we will be before a live studio audience, so watch for details of that. Thank you to Eddie Steele, Ryan Thelwell, Cody Janzen, Eddie Steele, and Ryan Thelwell, and we'll see you Monday, noon Eastern, right here on Game Plus TV. Thank you, Grey Eagle.
You screwed up, Clark.
How about that?
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Right on. I like it. LFG. Let's go. Hot take. Spicy. Oh, good one, Rod. Approved. Bob's your uncle. Right on. How about that? Let's go. Oh, no.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
How about that? Let's go. Approved.